You know, I'm different. I'm a elite fighter. So that's the difference, big difference.
For how long have you guys, obviously thinking about this fight and then fighting another great fighter like Canelo and like Bud, how long has this fight been in the making?
No, I never thinking about the fight Crawford. I never in my life, because he's a low weight than me. So, but I never thinking about it. But that's the fun part of boxing. You never know what is gonna happen, right? And now we are here. And I'm glad to share the ring with one of the best fighters out there, and I'm just can't wait.
So even though you see a small fighter, when you look in his eyes, do you see a fighter that could possibly beat you?
No, never.
If you watch Terence Crawford's whole career, I never came and predicted I was gonna knock somebody out or I was gonna do this. But every time I did say something, I said I was gonna win. And I'm saying that right now, I'm gonna win.
All right, Canelo, how do you see this fight ending? And let me hear your prediction. In American and in Spanish.
I'm gonna win.
Spanish first.
¿Ah?
In Spanish first.
Voy a ganar.
Ganar.
Voy a ganar. Esa es la idea, ganar.
Like Jake Paul, Mike Tyson, which was obviously on Netflix as well, the biggest concurrent view was, I think, 65 million. So at one stage of a time, 65 million people were watching that fight, which is crazy, hence why it broke Netflix servers. I do wonder what this does. I think it does around 10 to 15, which is still an incredible number.
Canelo Alvarez ignites chaos by violently shoving Terence Crawford during their face-off, sparking an explosive clash that stunned the boxing world. It was the shove seen around the world. What was supposed to be a respectful face-off at the launch press conference between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford on June 22nd quickly turned into a tense and physical confrontation. In a moment that shocked fans and stirred the internet into a frenzy, Canelo shoved Crawford during their stare-down, forcing UFC President Dana White and security to jump in and separate the two fighters. It wasn't just a spontaneous burst of emotion. It signaled that tensions were already bubbling beneath the surface, despite an otherwise composed and cordial event.
Canelo, what did you think about the shove, that moment that happened on stage?
Oh, I'm turning on right now.
Right? Yeah. Did it make you want to go harder for the 13?
I don't know, but made me feel more excited.
Love it.
I'm gonna train so far.
Everything unfolded at Fanatics Fest 2025, where the stage was set for the official kickoff of what is being billed as one of the most anticipated fights in recent boxing history. The face-off incident, though brief, lit a spark that captured the public's attention and turned a polite promotional event into a viral moment. As Crawford inched closer to Canelo during their face-off, the Mexican superstar didn't back down. Instead, he responded with a firm shove, catching even the usually composed Dana White off guard. Crawford didn't take kindly to the push and tried to come back at Canelo, prompting both entourages to get involved. The heated moment ended without a full-blown brawl, but the animosity between the two camps was clear. Though they were quickly separated, the scene wasn't over just yet. Both fighters were called back for a second photo op, this time under much stricter control. Dana White made sure they stayed far enough apart to avoid another altercation. The second face-off went off without incident, with both men posing for photos with the Ring Magazine championship belt in front of a buzzing crowd.
He's not gonna beat me. Don't worry about it. He's not gonna beat me. Don't worry about it. I think this fight is gonna be in the books of the history of boxing for sure. That's for sure.
For sure, them belts coming with me. They coming home with me. I'm telling you right now.
You can see it, but it's gonna be difficult. You take it to your home.
I'm taking them. And ain't nothing you gonna be able to do about it come fight night.
I know Turkey's in your corner,
I promise you.
But look, it's gonna be very difficult. He's gonna be so mad that day. Believe me.
I see you. I see you. You see I'm different.
I see you too.
You see I'm different than all the other ones.
No, I see you. No, you don't look different. You're nothing different.
I'm different.
Nothing different.
I'm different.
We'll see.
You gonna see.
We'll
You know
see.
it.
We'll see.
We
We'll see.
gonna
Son.
see.
The press conference itself had started off smoothly. Both fighters spoke respectfully about each other, showing mutual admiration for what they've accomplished in the sport. Bruce Buffer handled introductions with his signature energy, while Max Kellerman and Dana White guided the conversation through fan questions and media discussion. Other prominent names such as Turki Alalshik and Nick Khan also played a role in the event, with the whole production being broadcast live on multiple platforms including Netflix, DAZN, UFC, WWE, and Ring Magazine.
So even though you see a small fighter, when you look in his eyes, do you see a fighter that could possibly beat you?
No, never.
So
Never.
he would-
Still, for all the respectful talk, there was a lingering hunger from fans for more conflict. Up until the shove, both fighters had kept things fairly civil, but the physical contact gave fans exactly what they were looking for: drama, fire, and just enough chaos to stir speculation about what might happen on fight night. Crawford added to the intensity with his words after the push, making it clear that he's entering the ring with one goal: to take everything from Canelo. He described himself as being on the hunt and said he plans to make Canelo's fans go home in tears after their clash on September 13th. This level of aggression was a shift from his usual calm demeanor and sent a message that he's coming into this fight with serious intent.
Turkey, you need to put a small ring, the smaller ring in the.
The only, hey Matt. Yeah. The only running that I'm gonna be doing is running upside his head, and I can assure you that. Facts. And he got a big head too.
The fight, which is set to take place at Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas, will be broadcast globally on Netflix, marking another evolution in how major boxing events are presented to audiences. Crawford will be moving up 2 weight classes to challenge Canelo for his WBA, WBC, WBO, and IBF World Super Middleweight titles. It's a massive leap for Crawford, who has previously dominated the lower weight divisions and is considered one of the sport's most skilled technicians.
There's a lot of experts that think Canelo's not the same fighter. His punch output's a lot less. What do you think, considering the last 12 months or so? Is he the same fighter he was maybe a few years ago?
I think he is. I just think, he just wasn't up for the skull fight. And I think, different fighters bring different, energies out of other fighters.
A lot of people are judging you on the Madrimov fight, saying you struggled moving up in weight, you're going further up in weight, and they're saying that's going to go against you based on the Madrimov fight. How do you kind of reply to that?
Despite the size difference, Crawford isn't looking for any concessions. In fact, he's going into this challenge with a mindset of full accountability. He insisted there be no weight restrictions or rehydration clauses, explaining that he wants Canelo at his very best. His aim is to eliminate all excuses and ensure that whoever wins on fight night does so without any asterisks. It's a bold move considering Canelo's natural size and long-standing experience at higher weight classes, including super middleweight and even light heavyweight.
Terence Crawford. What? The press conference. I saw how Bud Crawford has been kind of used to being the good guy, and when he came out and everybody booed and Terence Crawford went heel.
I want all the people in the stands that booed me, they gonna cry when they go home.
And then he did it again, talking about going upside Canelo's head, and he got a big ass head.
The only running that I'm gonna be doing is running upside his head, and I can assure you that. And he got a big head too.
Oh my God, I was in heaven. Dude, it reminded me of when Hulk Hogan went heel.
Hulk Hogan, Dennis Rodman, together.
Bad guy, Bud. That's my guy. Listen, you don't know you want to be heel. It just happens. And when he saw that the crowd was against him, he was like, you know what? Then it is what it is. I'm going to turn heel. Listen, now I'm lit. Now I'm excited.
Listen, however they rate me, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, we got to fight, and I'm going to win the fight. As simple as that.
Can I ask you about if there's any rematch clause with this fight with Canelo?
No, it's not.
Is that something you push for?
No, I didn't.
And there's any weight restrictions to the fight at all?
No, it's not.
A lot of fighters would like to put on a weight restriction to this type of fight. Why didn't you want to do that?
Because I want him at his best. I don't want no excuses. I don't want no, reasons why, he didn't feel good or anything. I want him at his best.
Interestingly, Crawford hasn't even asked for a rematch clause in the contract. He didn't clarify whether Alvarez has one in place, but his approach has been straightforward. Win or lose, he's showing up to test himself without any safety nets. That attitude reflects a fighter who is deeply confident in his skills and willing to risk everything for legacy. Crawford's confidence, however, is tempered with realism. During a recent interview with Piers Morgan, he shared that he gives himself a 70% chance of beating Canelo. While some in the boxing world may see this as a surprising admission, considering fighters often speak with unshakable belief, Crawford's honesty was refreshing. He explained that he's always confident, but no fighter can ever be 100% certain about the outcome of a fight. His view is that confidence must be rooted in realism, and that's exactly what he's bringing into this massive bout.
But can you accept he's better than you at anything or not?
No, I cannot. I cannot say that another man is better than me in anything.
Because it's weak to do that?
No, because he ain't proven it yet. I can't say if his jab is better than mine, because I haven't been in the ring with him. I can't say if a person's right hand is better than mine, because everything that I do, I feel I do it great. So
let me ask you the same question. He's a very confident man. He's never lost a professional fight. And yeah, right, he's coming up in weights, but he's exuding chilling confidence. Even for you, to hear him talk like that, does that concern you?
No,
he has no fear?
No, I like that because that's when you realize it's gonna be a good fight. I like that. I like to hear that because it's when you realize it's gonna be a great fight, and I love it. I enjoy it.
What do you think you're better at than him?
You know, he is a very skillful fighter. He had maybe a lot of things better than me, but fighters judge me behind or out of the ring, but when they into the ring with me, they find out it's different. So
what is different?
Because I have a lot of talent, a lot of things, a lot of things they don't know till they in the ring with me. So and I can't say anything about how it's gonna work and everything because I never fought Terence Crawford before, right? We're gonna find out September 13th. That's why we are here, to see who's the best.
Canelo, meanwhile, has his own concerns going into the fight after his last bout against William Skull, which went the full distance and lacked excitement. He requested a smaller ring for his fight against Crawford. The reason seems obvious: limit Crawford's ability to move and create angles. Canelo knows that Crawford's footwork and precision are among his greatest strengths, and a smaller ring could work in his favor, but Crawford wasn't fazed by that request. He fired back with his usual sharp wit, saying the only running he'd be doing would be upside Canelo's head. It was a cheeky response, but one that highlighted the psychological games already in play. He even poked fun at Canelo's head size, a jab that got laughs but also showed that Crawford isn't intimidated by his opponent's reputation or physicality.
Don't get me wrong, okay? He's a good fighter, a great fighter. I always say before I see him calling me out and want the fight and everything, I see before. I say before, he's a great fighter. But if you look at his career, mention one elite fighter. Just mention me one elite fighter.
So Postal wasn't elite?
Who?
Victor Postal.
Who's that guy?
Oh, so he wasn't commercialized. He wasn't a great. Ricky Burns wasn't elite.
What? 40 years old champion in that moment beat Mr. Postal in my gym. I saw that.
So Ricky Burns wasn't elite.
Ricky Burns doesn't elite.
Okay.
He's not elite.
It's cool.
Is there a champion?
I'm going to fight another elite
There is
fighter
a champions,
in September.
good fighters, but elite fighters is different.
So
Wait.
I'm going to fight an elite fighter in September.
Yeah, okay.
Then we're
going to find out.
Then we're going to find out.
And don't get me wrong, you're a great fighter.
I know I'm great.
You're a great fighter, but are you going to find out? I hope your uncle Turki Alashi pay you enough money because it's going to be the last. That's
it
for
may
sure.
be. It may be. Maybe.
I hope he pay you enough.
But you know, after fighters fight me, they never the same. So I just hope your career continue.
If you look at my career, never same after me.
Kyrone Davis sees Crawford's mental strength and adjustment to the new weight class as critical factors that may neutralize concerns about size. Having studied both fighters closely, Davis believes the size difference, often cited as a major hurdle for Crawford, may not be as significant as many anticipate.
Have you been in there with Crawford?
Yeah.
So you've been in there with Crawford, you've been in there with Canelo. What can you take from sparring both of them to gauge what's gonna happen in September?
Preparation is going to definitely be everything. Crawford adjusting to the 168 pound division. I know he's been sitting at a heavier weight for a while, but like, you know, he's been showing his training and stuff. So that's definitely going to help him. Canelo experience. But then you got Crawford, got great experience as well. It's going to be a great fight. It's going to be a good chess match. I expect a great fight. If I had to favor somebody, I would just pick Canelo because just because of the weight disparity. Canelo is naturally like sits really well at 168, and it's just always tough for a guy to come to 168 and come from that many weight classes up and do something like that. If he does it, you know, if anybody could do it, it'll be Terence Crawford.
Richardson Hitchens supports that view, suggesting that Crawford doesn't need to emulate fighters like Floyd Mayweather or Dimitri Bivol to succeed. Instead, he believes Crawford's own brand of boxing, rooted in sharp intelligence and adaptability, could be the key. While Hitchens stopped short of predicting a knockout, he acknowledged that Crawford's style has the potential to create real problems for a seasoned and physically imposing opponent like Canelo.
I think Terence Crawford is one of the most craftiest dudes that Canelo gonna be in the ring with. Hand speed, IQ, long arms, speed, power. You know, switch hitter. I just think that it's gonna be a lot for. It's gonna be something different for Canelo, but I think Canelo's Canelo. You know, Canelo been first title defense was in 2011 versus Ricky Hatton, and he's still on top to the present time. So this is over 10 years. We're going on like 15 years of this guy fighting on the championship level, so there's nothing new for him. So I do believe that it's gonna be a huge fight for both guys, but obviously I'm backing Bud. You know, I have a personal relationship with Terence Crawford, and he's a black fighter, and I do want to see my own winning. I think, you know, Bud is a great guy, you know, especially always being hands-on with the young fighters coming up behind him, guys like me, Shakur, Devin Haney's, being in the gym with guys like us, and, you know, just giving us free game and shit like that. So I think that would be motivation for the young ones behind him, to show them like, yeah, like I could do it, like you could do it too. So I really want to see Bud win that fight, and I think that he can.
Adding historical context, Mike Tyson highlighted the intangible qualities that often define great fighters, such as heart and mental resilience. From his perspective, Crawford's mindset could be the equalizer in a fight where physical disadvantages exist, but may not dictate the outcome.
Canelo's going to fight Crawford in September on another huge event brought by Saudi Arabia. Who do you think wins that fight? Is it maybe the weight too much for Terence Crawford?
You know, there's been men that beat people like Armstrong and McLaren and these guys. They're beating people bigger than them, 2 divisions bigger than them. It's not impossible, you know. Henry Armstrong's a featherweight, and he beat the middleweight champ. At 130 pounds, he beat the welterweight champ. Then he fought a draw with the middleweight champ. So I think size means nothing.
Eddie Hearn, who initially leaned toward Canelo due to his size and experience in the division, has softened his stance after Canelo's underwhelming performance against a last-minute replacement for John Ryder. Hearn now sees the fight as much more competitive, acknowledging that Crawford's discipline, sharpness, and ring intelligence could very well tilt the outcome in his favor.
He has no doubt in his mind that he's going to win this fight. And anyone that has movement is going to cause Canelo problems at this stage in his career. And first, when the fight was made, I thought that Canelo Alvarez would be a huge favourite in this fight because of the size. But I really see it as a 50-50 fight. Like, I honestly probably favouring Crawford.
Wow.
Because of what I saw.
Oh, you're going to get another Canelo text.
Yeah, nah. But I want Canelo to win. Just want to put that out there as well. But I see it like, I'm talking like 55-45, but I would always pick Canelo, but I just being, you know, leaving Times Square, I got on the plane with Crawford and we flew to I've spent a lot of time with him over the years, and he's a massive believer in himself, massive. And he's got a tremendous boxing IQ, and he knows boxing inside out. And he's so convinced he wins this fight. And Canelo's got to switch up everything he's been doing in the last few fights. Like, a William Skull performance will not beat Terence Crawford. I don't think an Edgar Berlanga performance will beat Terence Crawford. I don't think a Jaime Munguia performance or a Charlo performance will beat Terence Crawford.
Zab Judah took that confidence a step further, declaring that Crawford is capable of winning by stoppage. He has been impressed by Crawford's transition to the higher weight and believes his sharpness, combined with his ring IQ, could allow him to outthink and outmaneuver Canelo, especially in a battle that favors strategy over brute strength.
What about Canelo and Crawford?
Crawford. No hesitation. No hesitation.
I want to see that fight.
Big Bud. Big Bud. We're going to have to roll Canelo up. We're going to have to pack him up, baby.
But how hard is the jump from 47 to 68?
I mean, listen, it's a very big challenge. But what I said, with his skills and the way he's adapted to the size, brother, when I seen him stand toe-to-toe and side by side, I said, game over. Terence Crawford. And listen, don't be surprised if he stopped him. I'm telling you.
Who?
Don't be surprised
if Canelo stops Crawford.
Terence Bud Crawford stops Canelo.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I love you. Skills pay the bills. See that, Cody? Skills pay the bills.
No, I'm saying he sees it.
Yet not all voices are optimistic about Crawford's leap to 168 pounds. David Benavidez, a top contender in the division, offered a cautionary perspective. He pointed out that fighting at super middleweight isn't just about gaining weight, it's about competing against naturally bigger, more durable fighters who are accustomed to the pace and physicality of the division. Benavidez suggested that Crawford might be underestimating what it truly takes to compete at that level.
Terence is not a regular guy. You know what I'm saying? He's special. And, you know, Canelo, he's a top-notch fighter, world-class fighter. Still on the pound-for-pound list, I'm sure towards somewhere near the top. And it's exciting. You know, Terence is freakishly strong. He can punch. He's got good crack. He can fight from both ways. Orthodox, southpaw. He can fight at mid-range, close range, outside. And he can fight going both ways, so it's exciting. It's exciting. It's a big question mark on the end of it, though. So that's why, you know, I'm sure all of us are excited for that bell to ring and, you know, be able to find out firsthand.
Caleb Plant, who has shared the ring with Canelo, offered a more balanced assessment. He emphasized that the contest isn't just about physicality or skill, but also about mental toughness and perseverance. In his view, both fighters bring different but equally valuable assets to the ring, making for a potentially close and strategic battle.
I think Bud gonna cook Canelo. I think he's gonna cook him. I think, you know, Canelo a hell of a fighter, but I think Bud just got all the tools to beat him.
You don't think the weight difference is gonna be too big of an advantage?
I think y'all make that something, you know, in certain fights,
Boxing makes it something, not us.
like if this was like a Benavidez, he's actually a lot bigger than Bud, so that would like apply. But I feel like with Canelo, he's like physically kind of big, but like height-wise, he's kind of small. So I don't think so, no.
Shakur Stevenson expressed even more confidence in Crawford's chances. He dismissed much of the concern about moving up in weight, arguing that Canelo's power might be overstated. Stevenson pointed to Crawford's timing and quick adjustments during fights as attributes that could shift the momentum, and even hinted at a possible stoppage victory for the former undisputed welterweight champion.
I think Bud gonna cook Canelo. I think he's gonna cook him. I think, you know, Canelo a hell of a fighter, but I think Bud just got all the tools to beat him.
You don't think the weight difference is gonna be too big of an advantage?
I think y'all make that something, you know, in certain fights,
Boxing makes it something, not us.
like if this was like a Benavidez, he's actually a lot bigger than Bud, so that would like apply. But I feel like with Canelo, he's like physically kind of big, but like height-wise, he's kind of small. So I don't think so, no.
The showdown at Allegiant Stadium will be more than just a battle for belts. It's a fight for pride, legacy, and history. The press conference shove was just the beginning. Fans around the world are now counting down the days to one of boxing's most exciting matchups in recent memory, one that could shake up the sport and deliver fireworks long after the final bell.